it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, UK independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you for joining me again today. Today is an Inspire.Create.Challenge day! Hurrah! We love a challenge, and this time it is thankful. So we're about a month early, I think, for Thanksgiving, if my American knowledge is correct. But I think we should be thankful all the time. I know I am. I'm always thankful for people who subscribe to my channel, people who buy from me. I think there's always something to be thankful for. Today's project is this little one. It's a box of candles. These are IKEA candles, so readily available. And it's a cute little box. I am going to change it a little, purely because I'm going to make the next one in designer series paper. So I'm not sure that the vellum would be a great idea, because the designer series paper, although it's the Joyous Noel that I'm using, which is a thicker designer series paper than usual, it's not as robust as cardstock, and this, because it's quite small anyway, is a bit wibbly wobbly, but I still like it as a look. So all I did was cut using one of the layering squares thinlets, cut a square out of the top of the box, and then also cut a square of vellum, which I just popped over the top, having heat embossed. So cute, 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 cute. Other than that, this is going to be the same. I'm going to change the sentiment because I'm not cutting the centre out. But yeah, so as I say, we're using the Joyous Noel paper. All the dimensions are going to be on my blog, which is linked immediately below. Well, I say in the description bar immediately below. So don't worry too much about dimensions. Some of them are a little precise. I have to say that I've not done this in metric. So apologies for that. I have only done it in imperial. I will see if I can calculate it in metric, but as I've said before, it's only a unit of measurement. So yeah, it's only a unit of measurement. We need to start with 2 squares of the Joyous Noel paper, and I've chosen the Merry Merlot and Copper one because that's kind of the theme I'm going for. So I think this is really pretty, and it goes beautifully with my candles all the other way around. I have to say I apologise if the lighting is not great. We've got to that time of the year that 5:30 in the afternoon is almost dark. We've also suddenly gone from a really wonderful, wonderful long summer to winter, basically, overnight. So I'm now standing on a heated floor in my bare feet so that my toes don't get chilly. And I cannot tell you how many layers of clothing I've got on. But anyway, so I apologise if the lighting's not brilliant. I have got every light on I can imagine, apart from my side spotlights, which, if I put those on, they cast a kind of weird shadow. So, back to the project. 2 squares. They're both basically 4 5/8 square, although I've trimmed 1/16 of an inch off this one, which will be for the base. And this is how I work out how to get really nice, snug lids. I just cut 2 squares the same size and then trim 1/16 off 2 of the sides, so, you know, adjoining sides rather than opposite. Then I've got a piece that is cut at 3 1/16 by 4 1/2, I think that's right. Yes, 3 1/16 by 4 1/2 and 3 1/16 by 1 1/2. And that is for, or those are for the inner dividers. And that was, I purely put that in because it was all wibbling around a bit much. So I thought I would put a divider in. So let's get started. I'm going to do this on my trimmer because we are going to be working in some fairly small measurements. And I just think it's easier that way. So, because, let me get which one, which, right, base, lid. Let's do the base first. So, I am, although not it matters, I am going to score at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. And I'm going to use the measurement to the right of the cutting blade, which I will get out of the way, because I just find it easier to do the smaller measurements here, because then you can abut properly at the top. So all I'm going to do is whiz round at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. And as I say, all the dimensions will be over on my post. Do remember to go and have a look at all the other design team members' projects, and then enter. It's a great theme to enter. You can do pretty much anything. And I have to say, because it was my turn to write the blog post, and because as ever, and that, by say the blog post, I mean the Inspire Create blog post, and as mine was one of the last projects to be done, I got to see everybody else's projects, and they're gorgeous. Right, this is the teeny weeny piece, and this I'm scoring in half, which happens to be at 3/4 of an inch. Now this is going to have to be one of those, I'm just going to pray that I get it right moments, because it doesn't actually abut. Now this is where the scoring board would probably be easier, but hey, when did I ever do anything easy? Right, I'm going to no, I'm not. So, sorry. Start again. This I am going to score at 1.5, and I'm doing them all with the long piece at the top. So 1.5, 2 1/4, 3, and then I'm done. So that's my inner piece. So that's that. Oh, I am just going to mark. So this is 3 1/16. I'm going to kind of ignore the 16th and just go for the middle. I'm just going to do a little score in the middle, just here, because that's where I'm going to cut. So, right, lots of burnishing. And because this is paper, I'm not going to go wild with the burnishing. I am going to use my bone folder, but I'm not going to go mad, mad, mad. Now, from memory, base. Right, I'm going to make the base before I forget that it is the base. Okay, so I'm going to go Catherine wheel, and I'm going to trim. I can hardly see what I'm doing, but hey ho. I'm going to trim in and trim away the score line. So just trim there, go straight up the score line and trim it out. So let's do that again properly. Oh, is it going to be easier on this side? Maybe. No. Note to self, Merry Mellow is not the easiest colour to do when it's dark. Right, so straight up and wedge. And as I say, I'm going Catherine wheel. So I'm not doing each side, I'm doing each corner exactly the same way. So straight up, wedge, and then straight up and wedge. So that is our base. Now, while I remember that that is our base, I am going to grab some tear and tape. Now you can use liquid glue if you want. Snail, probably not. I think snail might not be quite right for this. Snail is great when you're sticking designer series paper to card. It's not great when you're sticking designer series paper in a construction. That's just my personal opinion. What I will do is add a little bit just to these ends, just so that they stick down. But the main construction will be the tear and tape. That will just keep them neat. So, peel that off and just line up the edge to the fold, and we're going to do that all the way round. So at the end of this week, I will be going off to the States for a week. I am going to, we have a convention every 6 months, basically, so twice a year. And this time we are the live convention, which is the one that, how can I explain it? I'll come back to that. Let's make the base, the rest of the base. So I've scored my rectangle 3 times. So I'm going to fold once, twice, 3 times, so a concertina, and that is to form the piece in the middle to keep the candles from floating around. And you'll remember I've scored here, so I'm just going to, gosh, the lighting is not good, is it? I am going to try this, because that might make it easier for me, if not for you. It's certainly easier for me, apart from the fact that I now have a shadow. I'm cutting a wedge, just a narrow wedge. So can you see that? I've just cut a narrow wedge, and then this is going to fit into the base of our box. And this is the moment, of course, that I realised I was going to do it the other way up, but never mind. Hey-ho! Right, multi-purpose liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to run that, just a thin layer, over the base of the box, and that will then stick body and soul together. Just means that that will then stick down, and then this piece I just fold along that score line and it will tuck into there, just like that, and then we can put our candles in and they will be nicely positioned in the box. So just need to do the lid, and we're going to do this exactly the same way as we did the base. So yes, so we have 2 sorts of convention, and it's called On Stage, and for those of us that are leaders, so we have larger teams, we go to a thing called Centre Stage, which is specifically for the leadership, and it's a bit of a celebration. So remember, I'm going up and then wedging. So again, up and wedge. And this time we're going to Epcot for Centre Stage. So that's going to be fun. We're having half a day. Well, I say half a day. We get there about middle part of the day. And then we're there until the end. Because the event is in Orlando. We have 3 days looking at the new products that will be coming out in the new year. So it's going to be amazing, and it's my first Centre Stage. So I'm very excited, and I'm treating myself to go to Orlando rather than the event that is in Birmingham in the UK. The Birmingham event is 1 day. It will be a full-on 1 day, because they get to do in 1 day what the rest of us are basically doing in 3, although we get extra things by going to Orlando. So yes, so I will be deserting you in the literal sense, but not the actual sense, because I will be making sure, she says, fingers crossed, touching wood hard, that the blog posts and videos will still be with you. So I've got a busy couple of weeks while I get that done, because obviously I'm recording this in advance. So hence I'm saying couple of weeks. So tear and tape and snail. Let's remember the snail. So yes, as I say, I'm very excited. There are going to be, it's something between 6,000 and 7,000 demonstrators in Orlando. So it's going to be amazing. I can't even get my head around how huge the event is. But yeah, and there are, I think it's 60 UK demonstrators going. So there'll be quite a little gaggle of us. And I have a sneaking suspicion, lots of Union Jacks. Right, so this is where we see whether my taking 1/16 of an inch off works. Oops, it doesn't need the box to be squished. There we go. Ta-da! So it works. And if I just get rid of my little bits of paper, if I turn it over, you can see it works really nicely. It's nice and snug. So the only other thing we need to do is obviously put a thankful tag on. And I thought "You Are Amazing" will go very nicely. And, you know, we're going with the all things thanks theme. We've done thanks for everything. And "You Are Amazing" I think just works. So I've got a piece of Merry Merlot, just cardstock. And I've mounted up my "You Are Amazing" stamp on a C block, ink it up with some Versamark, grab our embossing buddy and stamp that, grab some copper embossing powder, and I'm going to apologise for the fact that this is therefore going to get loud, but you know, that's kind of what heat embossing is all about, really. You need to get the heat gun out, and the heat gun is loud. So what I'm planning while I'm away is for you to see the projects that I've made to take with me. There's going to be pillow gifts for the girls that I'm sharing a house with, and then some swaps. And I'm doing 2 lots of swaps. So yes. Lots to keep you amused while I'm away. And there's also going to be my birthday celebration going on, so more of that on the 1st of November. Right, heat gun, let's heat that up. Sorry about the noise. Right, I'll pop that back on its little clip and pop the trusty cheese board away. And I'm grabbing the tailored tag punch because I thought the angle would be rather snazzy with the "You Are Amazing." So that's that. And then I'm just going to pop that there. Grab my Merry Merlot and copper reversible ribbon, which I love. Double bunny ears for my bow. And then I can't believe it's over 18 minutes. I do apologise. And twist. It's because I gas too much. It's not that the project takes time, because it doesn't. I gas too much. Have I told you recently just how much I love this ribbon? It is amazing. And I say, if you twist your ribbon as you tie your bow, you can get the same side facing on all your little bits, and you just end up with the contrast for the knot. Right, okay, so this is where our mini glue dots are going to be friends to us, and somewhere I have, there we are, a glue dot and a piercing tool. So let's pop that there. Then that I want on a couple of dimensionals, I think. So pop that in there. You are amazing, because you are. I think you are amazing. And then I'm going to add one of these lovely snowflakes, and that I'm going to add by tucking it underneath there and because that's one of the, actually that one's probably a better one. Some of these are, in fact that one probably the best. Some of these are flatter than others, and I'm choosing this one because that's where the join of the wire is. So I'm going to add a glue dot on top and a glue dot underneath. Probably only need the one, but I'm going to go for just in case. And then I can pop it underneath the You Are Amazing and squish that down so that it's stuck top and bottom. So there we are, our two slightly different but the same little boxes. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let's get rid of that light and hopefully the camera will adjust. Give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please do. I know I've hit my 5,000 subscriber mark, but more is more when it comes to subscribers. I love the fact that people subscribe. If you need any products and you're in the UK, I would be honoured if you chose me as your demonstrator. It is because people buy through me that I can keep these projects coming. So if you could help with that, I would be so grateful. And if you use the Hostess code, you get extra rewards. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope to see you very soon.